Can you, I have it on the screen too, I think, now. If you can see it.
Sorry.
You're good.
Okay, Isaac Newton's Principia, or P, the 17th century work that served as the cornerstone of physics for over 2 centuries, could at first be understood by only a handful of people, but a basic understanding of Newton's ideas eventually spread throughout the world. This shows that the barriers of communication between scientists and the public are not impermeable. Thus, recent scientific research, most of which also can be described only in language that seems esoteric to most contemporary readers, may also become part of everyone's intellectual heritage.
All right. So what does that all mean?
Yeah, exactly. So,
So I was going to read this one. I would start with, okay, so this first sentence is saying, the scientist is saying, in Newton, or Isaac Newton's P, the 17th century work that served as the cornerstone of physics for over 2 centuries. Whenever we have these double commas here, we get to like ignore that, right? At least for a little bit. So we're saying Isaac Newton's principle could at first be understood by only a handful of people. That's way easier to understand than that longer sentence.
Right.
But a basic understanding of Newton's ideas eventually spread throughout the world. I read that and I'm like, well, how did they spread throughout the world? That's intriguing if nobody could understand it. But then it goes on to say, this shows. So this up here is showing us something. So this shows that the barriers to communication between sciences and the public are not impermeable. What does impermeable mean? What do we guess?
Can't get through.
Are not, like, it's not like, it's not completely like solid. Separate, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Thus, recent scientific research, most of which can be described only in language that seems esoteric to most contemporary readers, may also become part of everyone's intellectual heritage. So because people can understand parts of Newton and it spread across the world, we're saying, hey, this other language that might be esoteric might become a part of everyone's intellectual knowledge. What is our conclusion here, Shanice? Oh, you're on mute.
I had to text my daughter, I'm sorry.
All right.
I have to reread all this. This shows that the barriers of communication between scientists and the public are not impermeable. I said that was the conclusion.
Oh, all right. Tatiana, what did you say?
I picked thus recent scientific research, most of which also can be described only in language that seems exotic to most contemporary readers, may also become part of everyone's intellectual heritage.
Yes. Why is this our conclusion? So, Shanice, what you had said was up here that it's not impermeable. You're like, that is this is a subsidiary conclusion, Tatiana, we asked about earlier. This is our subsidiary conclusion because we then use what this is showing and we build on it, right?
Yes.
So this right here supports this subsidiary conclusion, but then we use all of this to support our main conclusion. So what is our, so then when it says, which of the following most accurately describes the role played in the scientist's argument by the claim, the recent scientific research can often be described only in language that seems esoteric to most contemporary readers. What did we say that was? So we're looking at this part of it, right? What role does that sentence say overall? So it's part of our conclusion, right?
Yeah.
But what is it used in regards to our conclusion?
Sorry, which sentence are you asking about right now?
The one right here that's in the
Okay.
for the people that are coming, we're just finishing up a question and then we'll split up again. So do we see that? Do you see what I'm looking at?
Yeah. So we just said that played the role of the main conclusion.
Well, this part does, right? Part of it does,
Yeah.
but not it split in half. So if you were going to look at it as like, what's that first sentence in regards to the second sentence, what would you predict?
Further evidence?
Yeah, well, it's less recent. Well, we're almost like saying like, hey, this thing exists.
Support.
So what answer choice did we say for this one, everybody?
Further.
What?
I picked C.
See, it is cited as further evidence. Is it further evidence?
No.
No, what is the evidence? There's no evidence in that part of the sentence. So what answer choice, what other answer choice would we go with?
D.
D, yeah, why, Shanice? Why is it D?
Because it's basically serving to establish the relevance of it, because it's part of the main conclusion. So that part of it is just serving as additional backstory, or basically.
Yeah, excellent. It's saying like, hey, we're connecting that subsidiary conclusion to where, hey, this is eventually going to become part of it. And we're using it as kind of like a transitional claim that's a part of that main conclusion. Excellent job. All right, so we do have to switch now so we have time for everyone, but I hope that this was helpful and we're going to continue to talk about these questions for sure.
Okay.
Let me get the rest of the group back.